Okay, the last thing that we're going to look at in this basic metal rhythm technique overview is left hand muting. Now, we've already looked at the technique where we're muting with our right hand at the bridge end of the guitar, but also to aid that, there's also something that you can do with your left hand, where as you're holding a chord, the minute you want that chord to stop, you just release the chord that you're holding and just use your fingers to kind of block all the strings, just so you get a real dead stop. One of the kind of main things with metal rhythm is the fact that it's really choppy and really tight, and if you get it sounding really precise, it can really help, especially in a live situation when you're trying to get it really tight. So using this technique is going to be really good for kind of creating that type of sound. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to play an E power chord, and I'm going to mute at both ends of the guitar with my right hand at the bridge end, and then I'm just going to unrelease the chord that I'm holding. Basically, I'm just going to be keeping my first finger ready to play the chord again if I need to, but I'm just going to unrelease the chord and then just let the rest of my fingers on my left hand relax over the strings. So it's going to sound something like this. Okay, that in itself is pretty basic, but it's really trying to outline just the effect of what it's going to do. So you just play the chord, and at the same time you just unrelease the chord and then let your fingers rest over the strings while catching it at the bridge end at the same time. Okay, also with that example, it's just using that technique in a natural kind of riff environment. But when you're blocking off the strings with your left hand, you can also do pick strokes just to kind of give a more percussive sound. So. Towards the end of that example, I just kind of took my right hand off, so I wasn't palm muting at all with my right hand. And as you notice with muting with my left hand, if you kind of leave your fingers hanging over any kind of natural harmonics on the guitar, you can also get that kind of sound in between chords. So generally when you're playing lower down the guitar, your kind of harmonics that you can use would be over the 2nd fret, 3rd fret, 5th fret, and if you wanted to use the natural harmonics on the 7th fret as well, just to kind of give that really kind of lazy sort of sound. Okay, regarding all the techniques that we've just looked at so far, my advice to you would be to just take each one of the techniques, learn everything slow, and then when you have it down slow, just kind of gradually speeding it up, paying close attention to keeping it nice and tight and nice and clean. All of these techniques that we've just looked at are going to be relevant in the performances on this DVD, so it's going to be worth familiarising yourself with each one of those. So then when we come to learn the performances, it's not going to be too much of a strain doing each of the techniques. It's just really going to take a lot of practice.